Hi, John Thompson, Senior Partner at Blue Margin, here to talk to you about the dashboard effect and how it's quickly becoming the differentiator for leading businesses. The idea of the data-driven business is certainly nothing new, but it's something that's taken hold in a big way in recent months and years. What used to cost six figures and a team of data scientists is now available to virtually any business. Here's some stats that speak to the ROI of business intelligence and the fact that most businesses waste almost all of their data as data exhaust. I'm going to skip right ahead here to A.T. Kearney that estimates that spending on business intelligence will grow at a rate of 30% through 2018. This is backed up by Gartner, which states that companies up to 250 employees rank analytics and BI as their #1 technology priority. Suffice it to say that data and analytics has hit the mainstream not just for enterprises but for all businesses and for those that are looking to move ahead of the competition. Here's how data and analytics hit the mainstream. These are the two most recent reports from Forrester on the left, Gartner on the right on business intelligence platforms in the market. You'll see leaders like Tableau, Qlik, IBM's Cognos, Domo, Salesforce getting into the game, but you'll notice that Microsoft sits in the leader position on both quadrants. Here's how that happened. Microsoft looked at leaders like Tableau and Qlik who have spent a decade or more establishing the demand in the market for do-it-yourself analytics and dashboards, and they reached into their deep well of IP in the category, namely SQL and Excel, two products that have already paid for themselves, and they were able to build Power BI, which was launched in July of 2015, and in short order, less than a year, were able to take the leadership position. This kind of market disruption is unusual for a big enterprise, but Microsoft has seen something of a renaissance, and in their data and analytics business, they've behaved more like a well-funded startup than a big enterprise. Specifically, Microsoft committed to a weekly sprint of new features on Power BI, which they have not missed since launching. This has propelled them into the leadership position in terms of current offering, strategy, ability to execute, completeness of vision, and so on. So Microsoft has taken the leadership position in terms of functionality, but you'll notice in here there's no mention of price, which is arguably the most compelling differentiation. Power BI's professional subscription is just $10 per month, which is a fraction of the cost of the competition. But enough theory, let's take a look at how this works in the real world. This is the public website for the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission. Part of what they provide is data. You can come to the website, click on the Data tab, and choose an area to focus on, such as facilities. Put in your criteria, hit submit, and you get a report. About 65 of these will give you the full picture. What we did was load that information into Power BI and create a dashboard. This allows the user to see trends and rankings that are much more meaningful than the raw data. For example, here's a production and sales quantity by region report. Here's a sales overview that shows you various natural resources by area and their ranking. As I click on the different resources, the title changes and I can see what category I'm dealing with. There's a map here that shows the resources by quantity based on the bubble size. I can hover over any element and get metadata for that element, and I can click on any element and cross-filter. Here I've just clicked on Weld County. My tabular data here then focuses on Weld County. I can look at data by region, and I can also filter using filters on the side here. I'm also able to look at trends over time, so I might want to see the various natural resources by region and how they've trended over the last 5 years, or I might just pick a particular region, maybe a particular natural resource, and if I click on that, it will show me its path over time, or I can watch the animation. This allows the user to see where resources are trending, where infrastructure money should be spent, where they should focus for exploration, etc. A much more complete picture. Here's an example of a property management company. They look at key metrics to know how to focus their resources and how to steer their strategy. If I click on one of these high-level cards, it takes me into the underlying report. Here's a report that looks at gross profitability. It draws the eye to what's important and makes comparisons so that you can do analysis quickly. For example, you can see total revenue and expense over time. You can see gross profit versus profit margin over time. You can see profitability by organization around the world, and we can cross-filter. So if we want to see what's happening in Europe, we can see what percentage of the various metrics Europe accounts for. I can also drill down and get more specific information for a particular area of data. So for example, I can click on North America. I have United States and Canada. I can drill down further to 3 different states. If I click on Georgia, I have 2 properties. If I turn off the drill down, then I can click on one of those properties, University Place, and my tabular data focuses on that. All of my other data is cross-filtered. I can just choose a year, a property, and get very focused on the tabular, granular data that I want to see. This kind of quick insight allows managers and executives to focus on what matters rather than taking hordes of data and trying to make sense of it. Let's put it in perspective. 15 out of 17 sectors in the U.S. have more data stored per company than the U.S. Library of Congress. There's a lot of data out there and a lot you can do with it. In fact, nearly 8 out of 10 executives agree or strongly agree with the statement, if we could harness all of our data, we would be a much stronger business. 67% of U.S. businesses are interested in using advanced analytics to improve business operations. To stay current, to drive your business forward, you need to get control of and leverage one of your most valuable assets, and that's your data. Let us help you by building your first dashboard on our dime. Click on the button below and let us know how we can help. Thank you.